So here's our Triumph motorbike, okay, running Creo 9. And here's Creo 9, right? So it looks very, very much like Creo 8 and previous versions before it. Not really too much that's obviously different, to tell you that. One of the main ones is around the model tree. Okay, as I mentioned before, it had those more toolbars, or icons, sorry, in the model tree. So, I can click on that to get to my tree filters. They've updated the display of that in terms of my what columns I want to show. It's showing the layer tree. Layer tree's got its own icon there. I can drag them out as well, put them side by side, bring it out into a separate window, stack it at the top, at the bottom, all these sorts of tools. So some of these were there inside Creo 8, if you haven't seen these before. Showing my other tree, I'll come back to that one in a little bit. Okay, so working with those inside Creo. Okay, some other things worth mentioning as well. So if you're working with multiple screens, so this was introduced back in Creo 8. So I've got Creo set up to start automatically on my second screen. Okay, so by default, Creo always start on your primary screen, and then you have to drag the window across on your secondary screen, and then if you open up a new window, go back to the primary screen. So there's a new config pro option that was introduced back in Creo 8 to let you force Creo to always start on your second screen or third screen, or however many you've got, which is very nice for those of you working with multiple monitors who don't want it on the primary screen all the time. Okay. That I was talking about with my arrow keys. So if I hold down the shift and click on my arrows on my keyboard here, then I can rotate the model around in 15-degree increments like so. Okay. So nice option there if you want. I use a 3D connection device. You can see I'm just spinning and moving all in one go, but that's there. Okay. So all of these things you can get into in the options. Okay, so if I go to my model display, there's my rotation angle. I can set that up as well. All right. Another one actually worth mentioning. So themes, there's a new, so Creo's had a dark theme in there for a while, but it's not really a dark theme, right? It's more the graphics area. So there's a new midnight theme, which is actually more of a true dark theme for those who like working in that way, since we've been all working in our dark little caves at home during COVID. So there's a proper dark theme there now, which is quite nice for those who are working that way with 9. Okay. So let's have a look at some of the other bits and pieces here inside Creo 9. So just going to go and open up, well, actually, I'll show my favorite one first. So I'm going to create a new part. And this is the new auto size of a sketch. So I'll just do an extrude on here. I'll switch to my sketching plane. I'll sketch a rectangle. Okay, and then there's that rectangle size, right? So you can see it's 330 by 190, right? So that's based on the default size of the template. I didn't have a geometry there, so I just kind of took a guess and sketched it, right? But maybe this should be 30 and this should be 20. Okay, so in old Creo, when I modified that to 30, that dimension would shrink, but the height would stay the same. Okay, so now inside Creo 9, when I hit enter on that, it's actually now scaled all of the other dimensions in the sketch to keep that sketch the same scale. Okay, which is really nice. You can do that the old way. You pick all the dimensions and use the modify tool. You get the little thing up that you would click on the click on that to lock the scale. You can do it that way, but now it just does that automatically. All right, so I can just scale the entire sketch very quickly and easily in that way. Okay, the other one, this was introduced back in Creo 7 actually. You can see how now the default depth is basically to the same scale as the sketch. So earlier, those using earlier builds of Creo, you might, you've seen this before where you do that, you do a little sketch and then the default depth of that extrude is like, 300 or 500 or something. It's massively too big, so you have to zoom out to see it and change the dimension. So that was introduced back in Creo 7, is that it would automatically scale the depth to match the scale of the sketch as well. Okay, so now you've got everything sort of stays in the area there. Okay, so some of the other bits and pieces, if I go into Sketcher, just to create a sketch here, I go to my sketch view. So the project tool again uses a new UI, so I can pick on my line, hold down the shift key, pick my loop edges. I can go in and see the options I've used to define that. Okay, if I had more to do, I could apply that and move on to another one. Although I've picked all the edges that are available in this example here, so I can just leave it like so. There's my sketch entities. If I create some other entities inside my sketch, just to show this, what this looks like so. Let's put another line on just here. Okay, so for my my highlighting of options, okay, so I've got endpoints, but the new options I've got are intersections or junctions. You can highlight those as well inside my sketch. Okay, so I can see them there. So again, just something to help me troubleshoot sketches. If I've done something wrong, that can cause issues with certain features, I can clearly highlight those for me before I get into that problem. Okay. Let's look at something else now, some of the part modeling stuff. So let's get this guy. And here's my part model. Let me just turn off the extra column there. So some of the other tools I was talking about, so the ability to look at the evolution tree here, the quilted body evolution tree. So there's all my features there. So when I pick on these guys, I can see the feature. If I turn on my select related tree, so when I pick on this feature, it shows me there are all of its parents and there are all of its children. Okay, so I can very quickly see what's going on here. Okay, in that way. All right, so it's a nice new tool that's there. Okay, so with my snapshot here, if I pick on features inside this tree, okay, when I pick on the extrude, you can see it shows me that's what that solid feature looked like when it was built. That's my snapshot preview, and then the hole, and then the round, and then all the other bits and pieces. Okay, so my surface geometry and everything else. Okay, so it's a nice way of, again, being able to study and work out how that model was built while I was doing it. You can turn off the snapshot if you want. Okay, so it doesn't show it, but it's a nice new tool that's there. A bit of an expansion, as I said, on what came inside Crewate. Okay. All right. So the divide surfaces, show that one real quick. So the idea is that I can take some geometry, I can use that to divide a surface. Let's say that surface there, I can flip which side I divide. Okay, and I've now got two different surfaces to apply colors or whatever else it might be to, right? I can pick annotations, whatever it might be. Another one here, let's just show my sketch. Okay, so I'm going to take that sketch. Again, I'll split onto that surface. I project that surface down on there, and again, splits that surface up, okay, into two surfaces, which I could then go to maybe flexible modeling, do an offset on that. Let's pick on that surface. Let's give it 2, might be a bit too big, like so. And I can offset that out, okay, like so. Okay, so that was really quick. And the beauty of that is I picked minimal references, right? So again, you could construct that using surfaces and trims and things like that. But the issue is that what if this is, in this case, this is parameter driven, right? So if I go to my parameters, there's the ID for the engraving. I might change that to C. Okay, that, the sketch updates, all of the other bits and pieces update, and the feature updates as well, okay? So a really nice way there of using the divide surfaces. Okay. All right, so that's some of the stuff that's there inside core modeling. But let's press on because there's plenty more to talk about inside Creo 9. Okay.